Aphra Behn. Aphra Behn was an influential English playwright, poet, prose writer, and translator during the Restoration era. As one of the earliest English women to make a living through writing, she broke societal barriers and served as a role model for future female authors. Her journey from obscurity to recognition involved working as a spy for Charles II in Antwerp, followed by potential imprisonment due to debt. Upon her return to London, she embarked on a career as a playwright and writer, associating with notable figures like John Wilmot and Lord Rochester. Ben, who wrote under the pastoral pseudonym Astrea, was part of a literary circle that included poets and libertines. Despite facing legal troubles during the tumultuous exclusion crisis, she remained a staunch supporter of the Stuart monarchy. She declined an invitation from Bishop Burnet to write a welcoming poem for the new King William III and passed away shortly after. Ben's early works consisted of tragic comedies in verse, including The Forced Marriage, The Amorous Prince, and Abdelaziz. However, she gradually shifted towards light comedy and farce during the 1670s. Notable works from this period include The Rover, which depicted the adventures of English cavaliers in Madrid and Naples during Charles II's exile, and The Emperor of the Moon, which foreshadowed the Harlequinade and English pantomime. While Ben authored numerous plays, her fiction garnered more attention. Her novella, Orunoko, considered an early novel, tells the story of an enslaved African prince and engages with the themes of slavery, race, and gender. It had a significant impact on the development of the English novel. Ben's other notable works of fiction include Love Letters Between a Nobleman and His Sister and The Fair Jilt. In addition to her plays and fiction, she wrote poetry with a collection titled Poems Upon Several Occasions with a Voyage to the Island of Love and Lycidas or the Lover in Fashion. Ben's versatility and prolific output made her the subject of some scandal, but her charm and generosity earned her a wide circle of friends. Her relative freedom as a professional writer allowed her to explore various genres and themes, contributing to her lasting legacy in English literature. The Rover. The Rover, or The Banished Cavaliers, is a play in two parts written by Aphra Behn, adapting Thomas Killigrew's play Tommaso or the Wanderer. The play features multiple plot lines revolving around the romantic escapades of a group of Englishmen and women in Naples during Carnival time. Although John Dryden noted that it lacked the vigor of Killigrew's play, he praised its refined expression. The Rover remained Ben's most popular and respected play for 3 centuries. Orunoko, or the Royal Slave. Orunoko is a significant work of prose fiction by Aphra Behn, first published in 1688. The story revolves around Orunoko, an African prince from Coromantien, who is deceitfully enslaved and sold to European colonists in Suriname. The narrative, presented as a first person account, chronicles Orunoko's life, love, rebellion, and eventual execution. The work engages with themes of slavery, race, and gender, becoming Ben's best known piece and making a lasting impact on the development of the English novel. Eliza Haywood. Eliza Haywood, originally Elizabeth Fowler, was an English writer, actress, and publisher whose recognition and interest in her literary works have grown since the 1980s. Haywood stands out as a highly prolific writer, even in an era known for its prolific authors. Over the course of her life, she authored and published more than 70 works spanning various genres such as fiction, drama, translations, poetry, conduct literature, and periodicals. In modern scholarship, Eliza Haywood is primarily studied as one of the foundational figures of the 18th century English novel. Eliza Haywood's personal life, including her marriage, is relatively obscure. To support herself, she pursued a diverse career involving writing, acting, and adapting works for the theatre. Later, she gained recognition for her passionate and sensational fiction, which capitalized on the contemporary fascination with scandals involving prominent individuals. These novels often used initials to thinly veil the identities of these societal figures. Notable works in this category include Memoirs of a Certain Island Adjacent to the Kingdom of Utopia and The Secret History of the Present Intrigues of the Court of Caramania. Haywood faced criticism from figures like Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift, who disparaged her with harsh language. She responded with the experimental novel The Adventures of Eowyn, Princess of Ijavio, and took on Samuel Richardson's groundbreaking novel Pamela with her satirical work Anti-Pamela. Later in her career, Haywood achieved success with The Female Spectator, recognized as the first periodical written by women for women. Her realistic novels, The History of Miss Betsy Thoughtless and The History of Jemmy and Jenny Jessamy, further contributed to her literary acclaim. The Female Spectator. The Female Spectator was a periodical publication by Eliza Haywood, issued between 1744 and 1746, notable as one of the earliest periodicals authored by women for women. This publication drew loose inspiration from The Spectator by Joseph Addison and Richard Steele, but distinguished itself by presenting an exclusively female perspective. The journal employed 4 characters as its narrators: the female spectator herself, who shared her life experiences, and 3 assistants representing different stages of a woman's life: Euphrosyne, an unmarried merchant's daughter; the happily married and sophisticated Mira; and a widow of quality. Each issue of the Female Spectator was published in book form and delved into a single topic through essay-style writing. The primary focus was often on themes of love and marriage, with an emphasis on moral values. The essays followed a structured format with a clear premise, development, and conclusion, avoiding extensive digressions. The language used was direct, balanced, and eloquent. The essays delivered moral guidance and advice, often supported by illustrative anecdotes that depicted situations from a woman's perspective. These anecdotes served as a cautionary or exemplary tales, highlighting the consequences of various behaviors. Among these stories were accounts of a young woman disguising herself as a boy to follow her lover into the army, an uninformed woman eloping with her first suitor, and a dissatisfied married woman embarking on an affair leading to an illegitimate child. Over the course of the journal's run, approximately 60 such stories were featured, some detailed enough to be considered miniature novels. Haywood justified the absence of current events in her publication by arguing that newspapers adequately covered such topics. However, she also advocated for women's education, dedicating a series of issues to the study of Baconian empiricism and the natural world, which contributed to fostering women's interest in using microscopes.